guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are starting a new kind of series on the channel. I feel like I'm trying a lot of different things on this channel, but I felt this one would be super fun. I got this idea originally from a friend of mine when we were watching a few different shows, and I would comment about how I didn't really like certain monsters or creature designs that appeared in movies and shows. And she was like, well, why don't you just try redesigning them and just making them yourself? And I'm like, that's a very fun idea. So, okay, before we get started, huge disclaimer, big disclaimer, red text. I'm not making the series to basically rag and like really nitpick the designs of concept artists and such. I don't want this to come off as like a negative thing, because I understand that creating a concept art for like a game or a movie, there's so many factors that go into it. It's a whole team that's working together a lot of the times, or multiple concept artists making these different shows and things. And then sometimes like show leads or executives from the company come in and they're like, we don't like this, and they change it. So this is not me ragging on any concept artists out there that designed any of these creatures or things that we're going to be redesigning. It's just me commenting on how I felt that I think it would have been cool if the monster looked like this. Not me saying that they did it wrong, or I'm not trying to critique their job. It's just me personally, what I would love to see these monsters actually have been like. I'm not trying to be like a total butt about it and getting after people and being like super mean about this. That's not what this is for. So, with that disclaimer out of the way, let me show you the first monster we'll be redesigning. I will fully admit I am not completely caught up on Adventure Time. I did kind of pick and choose the episodes I wanted to watch, and when they released kind of the teaser trailer for Obsidian, I was super excited for that. I was like, that looks cool, I'm gonna watch it. So if you guys try to school me on Adventure Time trivia, I will fail. But I did watch the Obsidian episode, and I loved Larvo. I really loved his design. I thought this was such a cool like lava dragon, and then when it gets like merged with like cool gemstones and such, absolutely loved it. And this is your warning now. Today's video is going to be filled with Adventure Time spoilers, so FYI, Obsidian spoilers ahead. So I really liked Larvo's design. I was super into it for the whole episode, and then towards the end, when Marceline is singing her song and Larvo transforms, I was so excited. I'm like, oh cool, what's this new transformation gonna be? Just to find out it's this weird cat butterfly. I know I've already read up on it, and the whole thing with Larvo is, and before you guys fly to the comments, I already know the whole thing with Larvo was kind of like a direct correlation to how Marceline was. Like she was like in the tadpole phase that they show for Larvo, she was like a soft, good kid type of thing, and then trauma and other things affected her growing up, so then she kind of becomes hardened and more like guarded like Larvo is, and then in the end he has a soft center, which is this cat butterfly. But I thought the transition from Larvo to this was just so intense and drastic that it just really caught me off guard. I was like, wait, what the heck? And like I remember talking to a friend of mine and being like, this is a bummer because I loved Larvo. Like I thought this was such a cool design. So I don't know. I didn't really like the butterfly personally. So today I kind of want to figure out if I can kind of make a happy middle point and redesign this final transformation. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna brainstorm a couple of ideas of what the next step for Larvo's transformation would be that could still kind of reflect the idea of the soft center of this creature, but also not be a starkly different cat butterfly thing. So I think I'm gonna jump in and we'll do a couple sketches and kind of figure out, I don't know, try to find the happy middle point for this, because I was really not happy with the cat butterfly. So let me prep the canvas and let's get some sketches going. Okay, so I have my reference images here of Larvo and its original little tadpole form, and then the final butterfly cat thing. And I chatted with my friend about this some more because it's been a while since I've seen this episode, and I was like, man, I remember us having like a really good talk about how Larvo could be a more integrated character. And one of the things she brought up was basically making Larvo kind of like the forge beast. So since it is there like with the magma and this forge setting, it could easily be a really cool like forge beast creature. One of the things she brought up is basically Larvo could be kind of a more amphibious lava creature and it could serve as a really great guardian and maybe help the glass people with their cracks and their breaks. Since Larvo, like I said earlier, is supposed to be a direct correlation to Marceline and her traumatic experiences and her growing as a person, I think this would be a fun opportunity to kind of bridge the gap between being fully healed and also living with your trauma. One of the things that my friend brought up was with the butterfly, it just really feels like it's almost completely getting rid of the trauma. Like it's completely clean, new slate. It has a little bit of the scar left on its forehead, but it doesn't really grow from it. It just feels like a completely different creature and character. It like evolves into something totally different and like totally perfect when I think it could be something that bridges the gap between feeling healed and also still having some of like your trauma with you. Because, you know, when bad things happen, you can heal and grow from certain things that have happened in your life, but they kind of like change us and define us, you know? So I'm thinking about going with a kind of aquatic creature for this, combining both this little tadpole version and our final big larvo. And I think it could have like a really cool shell on the outside to kind of show the hardened side of it, the one that has been kind of guarded all of this time. But then the body could be a lot softer and pliable and a little bit closer looking to the amphibious tadpole look of the original creature. So then it can kind of show a little bit of both. And then it'll be really cool to have this as like a forge keeper and guardian to help the glass people slowly rebuild themselves and come back from their imperfections over time. So I like the idea of having kind of more of like a shell on the outside with these larger glass shards that were seen in the show. And then we'd still have the crack because you still have to kind of live with your scars and grow from them, you know? Then we could still make this a really cool but soft dragon. And I think we're gonna go kind of with maybe an axolotl turtle combo is what I'm thinking, because it has these like whisker-like things on its face, but we could also carry that over into kind of these axolotl-y spines and make it look kind of like how the tadpole fins looked. I think that will look really nice. And then one thing that I'm thinking about with having this being like a forge guardian is since it is both like amphibious and has lived amongst the magma and the heat, it would probably know better on how to control the temperatures, and it could help the glass people kind of get in and out of the forge to help get them fixed, you know? Something like that. And at least for this design, I kind of want to still have the larvo legs, but maybe we kind of make them a little more fin-like. Ooh, this is gonna be hard because I really like the cool big larvo legs, so I don't know. Maybe we can have him have those longer legs and maybe the back feet have more of the fin look to them. Because I'm getting kind of Lapras vibes from this look, especially with the shell, like the glass shell going on. But I don't know, I really like the idea of still having kind of the legs similar to how Larvo's were. Maybe some fins on the back of its arms would be kind of cool. I think I like that idea. And then I do like kind of the crystal, I guess, shoulder pieces that they do use in the butterfly design. So I think I'm kind of gonna bring that over to its neck design. I think it'd be kind of cool to have some more crystal-like growths on it. Okay, so I'm really liking how this design is coming out. I really like combining the tadpole with the bigger magma monster and like bridging the gap between the amphibian and the more magma-like creature. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and start some line work and color for this guy. I think I'm gonna push more closer to the greens for a lot of the body, just to kind of reflect back to like, oh, it had the hardened exterior shell of like the magma monster when it was like experiencing the post-trauma type of thing, and then it reemerges closer to how it was before, but we're gonna kind of combine maybe some more aspects from the magma monster design. Maybe some of this area where the belly area meets the skin, maybe we could make this more in like the darker greenish blackish grays and have the area where it meets kind of look like the stone here. Ooh, I don't know. We're gonna have to just experiment with colors and see what we can figure out with that. So let me jump in and get that started, and we will finish our Larvo third evolution design. I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, it was time to jump into the final piece for our Larvo new evolution. And I was really already digging how this character was looking, and I thought this was a really great step in the evolutionary chain for our character. And I was just slowly seeing it come together by adding the line art. And then later on, I'll talk more about the color when we get there. But I just really liked how this turned out. Like I've talked about before, I don't really draw in like a super cartoony style. Like I know I'm not like super realistic, but I'm also not like heavily cartoony. So I felt that how I drew this was kind of a nice in between. It was like almost my style, but also almost cartoony. It was really great. And I'm gonna plug it again because I'm using Clip Studio Paint again for this one. I feel like I've almost 100% jumped ship on Photoshop and just moved over to Clip Studio because it makes drawing super efficient and awesome, and I have been really, really liking it. So in terms of like the coloring, I wanted to go with like the greens of the tadpole. I think I talked about that earlier. But then with it, I wanted to add some of that like floating magma rock pattern that was originally on Larvo, and I thought it worked really well. It kind of looks like really cool spots all over this creature, and it complements like the greens and the pinks really well and adds like another dimension to the character. I really love it, and I think it looks really, really cool. And then I did think about adding a fin to the tail to kind of match the tadpole look, but I think it works really well as like axolotl head fins. I thought that was a good replacement of the fin from the tadpole. And then I just really like how this looked. Like the crystals I thought was a really nice complement. The pinks and the greens and the tans. Really loved this, and I had a blast redesigning this. All right, guys, and we are all done with this monster redesign, and I absolutely love how it turned out. I think this is, at least for me, a really good step in the right direction for the evolutionary chain of this creature. We kind of incorporated both the original tadpole look with the more dragon drake-like larvo design, and I think this looks really cool. I'm really digging it. It does give a more like soft character, so it's that soft, squishy inside, as Marceline says in the episode. But then it also still carries some of the aspects from the like glass shard drake look, and I really like the design overall. I think this would be a really fun creature to go along with the lore that I discussed of having it be kind of like a forge guardian and helping the glass people maybe heal up their breaks and wounds, and just kind of being a really awesome guardian-like creature for them. I wanted to carry over a lot of the different aspects from both designs, and I thought this worked really well. And I just had a blast redesigning a concept work from a show. So if you guys have any other, I don't know what to call them because Cinema Sins is already kind of taken by someone else, but I guess like Cinema Monster Sins in a way. If you think of a catchy title, let me know in the comments below. But basically monsters that could have been designed better for the show or for the plot in general. I already know I have a few that I could think of from like Godzilla because, ooh, there's some really weird creatures in Godzilla that I'm like, that's kind of odd in the way you guys designed it. And I mean, I gotta give them a little slack. They've been around for years and years and years, but I still think they could improve on some of the designs if they ever were to appear in newer Godzilla cinema. But at least that's my first idea when it comes to another cinema creature we could redesign, but I would love to hear it down in the comments below if you guys have a favorite movie or TV show or video game that you can think of that has a creature that could really use some redesign and a little bit of love and care. But either way, thank you guys again so much for stopping by and checking out this video. And if you aren't already, please hit that subscribe button, join our little community, hit that like button, and if you want to hang out with me and some other community members, think about joining our Discord. We're going to be hosting a lot of events coming up there, including like art challenges, and we right now have a Secret Santa going on. We would love to see you over in the community, so check out the link down in the description. But either way, thank you guys again so much for stopping by, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.